board acknowledgements. The board met in executive session on May 12, 2025 to discuss real estate and pending legal matters pertaining to Susan Johnson versus Littlestown Area School District et al. The board received information and was educated on these topics. No deliberation or board actions took place. Does anybody, and as far as board acknowledgements, it's that time of year. I know that we have at least several new nurses that will be have graduated or are graduating in the next day or two. We have a new state trooper in the area that is a Littlestown graduate. So if you have ever upset him as a student and you're a teacher, my suggestion is that you really might want to bring your best behavior. And I'm proud to see that one because that one was a struggling student that struggled at school, did not know what he wanted to do, but he went through a very rigorous time up there, and I'm pleased to announce that he is a friend, and I am glad to see him as a state trooper. And I can't wait to see the things he's going to do. The nurse is not so sure about it. This is one of mine. Do we have any other acknowledgements or announcements, please? Hearing none, we're going to move on to student representatives, and Mr. Khan is not here.
No, he's here.
Is he? Oh, he was hiding. I'm sorry. I apologize. You're up. We're going to take you first.
Good evening. My name is Ian Khan. I'm an 8th grader at Maple Avenue and our student council president. Here's what's happening at Maple Avenue. Here exhibiting our 5 values. All students have participated in a lesson on courage in their social studies classes. Another Spear Week is upon us. Today was barbecue dads versus soccer moms. Tomorrow is hats off for 8th graders. Wednesday is Hawaiian Day, and Thursday is summer vacation ready day. We held our first in April, which included an open gym and a glow dance. Students paid $5 to go back and forth between rooms. PDIS sold pizza, and the student council sold candy, glow bracelets, and light-up sunglasses. We had about 125 students show up. They all had a great time. Our first Winter Rose fundraiser for Mother's Day was a huge success. We sold 244 roses and even had to order more midweek. We deposited $200 this week. Thank you. Enjoy your summer and have a good night.
Thank you. Mr. Khan, before you leave, I want to thank you. You came in several months ago as a shy young man that had a hard time, and you have blossomed into one heck of a 9th grader. I'm sure Mr. Priest is can't wait for you to be up there with this group. So thank you for coming in, taking your time out of your day for it. I appreciate it. Anybody else want to thank Mr. Khan?
Thank you.
Great work. Thank you. You're up.
All right.
Let's see if you're going back to the 8th grade one or the new one.
Yeah, so some of you might notice that I'm not the guy that usually does this. I was a last-minute stand-in for him, but I used to do it back in middle school. So I came with you. I got some notes on my phone, and I'm only half as ill-prepared as I was back then. So, I still have jokes. No, unfortunately not. I'm sure I'll write some in. So it is the last week of school. Well, like kind of technically. The seniors are gone. They're out of there. And it's final week and all the exams, so there's not much really going on with clubs and all that. It's kind of over, but I have some just some stuff to touch base on here. So the lacrosse club that's new had their first scrimmage on Sunday. The yearbook staff worked very hard and got all the yearbooks out on time. They're very enjoyable. The NHS had a successful blood drive. One student is receiving a scholarship for their hard work at the blood drive. Youth field hockey starts this week and we'll be hosting 75 girls on the team. There are new 26 FBLA officers, and they're all looking forward to serving their chapter. There's one advisor and 4 members attending the Summer Leadership Conference, so good luck to those folks. And the Astronomy Club had a wonderful start to the year already, and they're very excited to begin 2025-2026 school year. So that's all I got for you.
I appreciate it. Any other questions?
You had prom too, right?
What was it?
Prom. You had prom.
Oh yeah, we did have prom.
That memorable, huh? Wait a couple years to change it then.
Yeah, clearly I really put a lot of work into the speech there. Prom went well, great weather. It was perfect weather. We had that up in Biglerville. That went well. No shenanigans going on. Fishing was the report on that. So overall, successful prom.
Thank you.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for stepping in on the last one.
Yeah.
Of course. All right, well, remind us, Dr. Becker. Is it a Mr. or Doctor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Mr. Breeks is in.
Good evening, everyone. As always, there's a lot of things happening at the high school in the past couple of weeks. I'm sure we're going to miss a couple individuals in some of our recognition, but we want to apologize for that, and we would like to start to thank and congratulate a few people. Congratulations to Mr. Bish and Mr. Lobalt on an excellent spring concert. The students' performances were outstanding, and the night was enjoyed by all. Also, we would like to thank Mr. Staub and Dr. Shower Lewis for their continued leadership with FBLA. Their end of the year ceremony was held this past week, which was another enjoyable experience and recognition for our students. We are deep in the throes of assessment session in our building. They have gone quite well. Thank you to the counseling department for all their hard work with making AP testing a success, particularly Ms. Poole, our AP coordinator, for ensuring that the experience is smooth for our students. We were particularly impressed with our counseling team last Friday when College Board had a major issue with their testing platform. A stressful situation for all was handled with grace, and we were fortunate to have those individuals with a high level of experience to get through it. I would also like to acknowledge all of our high school staff for their help with our Keystone exams. These tests that require the help of the entire team, and they have come through with flying colors. Again, thank you for all their help. Looking forward, tomorrow evening is our Pops concert, and we will have a very entertaining show. Wednesday is our Senior Academic Awards, and we are all excited to celebrate the accomplishments of all of our soon-to-be graduates. And then speaking of which, graduation is scheduled for next Thursday, May 29th at 7 p.m. As the culminating event of the district, we are excited to experience the event for the first time here at Littlestown, and this ends our report for the high school.
Do we have any questions? Hearing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ms. Golden, you're up.
Good evening. Again, just some end of the year housekeeping items. So at Maple Avenue, much like the high school, successfully finished up our PSSA assessments and our algebra keystones. All of those went very smoothly. We were able to get any absent students made up and everything submitted back in time. We are currently in the middle of our spring iReady diagnostic, which is the end of the year. So we're eagerly awaiting those results to be able to look at them first and both over time and maybe some indicators of achievement for our students. Tomorrow is our 8th grade farewell day. It's a really exciting time for 8th graders and all of the staff at Maple Avenue. So they will spend their entire day having a good time. They're going to start in the auditorium to watch a slideshow of all the pictures that their parents submitted of them through the years here in Littlestown. They'll have an opportunity to sign the ceiling tiles that hang in our building that will go with us to the new building as well. They will have some fun activities in the morning in the building, dodgeball tournament, and breakout EDU 8th grade edition, and all sorts of fun things. Then we head over to the stadium. They're going to have pizza and chips and cookies, and just have a really great day in the stadium. Mrs. Dull is going to DJ. If you know Mrs. Dull, that's a good time. And lots of stations around the stadium for them to participate in different activities or just hang out with their friends. There'll be a photo booth, all those things. Great day for 8th graders. Also tomorrow night from 3 to 8 p.m. at Ripley's Creamery in McSherrystown, they are doing a fundraiser for us for our PBIS program, where a proceed of the profits tomorrow night goes back to Maple Avenue, and we have a lot of Maple Avenue staff to show up to be guest schoolers. So if you are free tomorrow night, come up for some ice cream. Early next week, we have our 6th and then 7th and 8th grade academic awards. Lots of students will be recognized by their teachers, not only for their academic achievements, but sometimes just their perseverance, their effort, their growth. Lots of ways to celebrate students. And then we finish the year with our end of the year PBIS Carnival. So These are the rewards that recognize students who, during this qualification period, have C's or better in on their grades, have come to school regularly, and have stayed out of trouble. And so we love to recognize those students and encourage and motivate them. So we're having our end of the year carnival. We have a lot of community partnerships with ACE, Dr. Ross, and some parents coming to help us with a dunk tank and moon bounce and carnival games. So lots of fun had by all to end our school.
Anybody have any questions?
No questions, I just have a comment. I'm glad to hear that the tiles and the ceiling are going with you to
Of
the high
course.
school. And I hope that they continue, you guys continue that
Oh,
tradition.
I don't see any reason why not.
Awesome, that's
Yeah,
great.
for sure, absolutely.
Mr. Moran, you're up.
All right, just to follow that theme a little bit with the middle school and the high school. So at ACES, just really want to talk about a couple things here. Initially, we had our spring concerts as well here over the last couple of weeks. Our fourth and fifth graders represented the chorus, music, and as well as their first timers, which will be our third graders. And we hosted that here at Elway Creek in their purpose area there in the cafeteria, used our stage area, and that was phenomenal. Particularly the third grade group, it was a packed house, and you know, everybody, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, you know, everybody came. It was just a really great night of celebration, the success of our music program. So again, shout out to Ms. Green, Mr. Bish, and Mr. Lopal for their efforts there. Another ceremony that just recently was, instead of doing what we call kindergarten graduation, we had a kindergarten musical celebration. So in place of that occurred as well. And again, a great turnout by our community to come and support our little kindergartners. And again, just a great chance to watch them demonstrate their musical abilities for them. And Ms. Green did a great job with that. As mentioned, sort of with the 8th grade farewell, same thing. We have our 5th grade farewell coming up here next week on Tuesday. So again, our chance to celebrate our 5th graders who came through Alway Creek before they head over to the school and middle school. We also have been in state testing, so just really wanted to say a couple quick comments on that. Overall, the process went really well. Was very happy with their efforts from our students, staff, and our community. Just want to say that we had 430 total students participate. That was eligible to participate in our state testing, and all of our students did participate in our state testing. So really like a 98.6% participation rate. So we're really excited about that. And every one of our third graders participated. So we had 100% participation from our third grade class. So that was exciting to see as well. Teachers are in the process of having students take their third diagnostic test with already. So we're in that process now as we finish up the last few weeks. Again, the important piece of that, you know, there was a fall piece. If you remember, we discussed throughout the year, a fall like a baseline, the middle of the year, end of the year. And really that data helps us to drive instructional decisions, both in ELA and math, and with Dr. Berryman and our team, we're going to do a deep dive into that information as we head into the summer, as we prepare and plan for next year. Mr. K and I were sort of working through all of what we would call end-of-the-year procedures with meetings and tasks with our staff, whether it's working on the teachers' SVNs, helping to make sure we get the report cards ready here for next week, end-of-the-year evaluations, student portfolios to move from one grade to the next, and obviously working through our summer scopes of work, to name a few. So again, very, very busy time at the elementary school. Again, those scopes of work, working with Dr. Berry, that really center around science, ELA, and math. Really happy to announce our Race for Ed. So today was our Race for Ed day with our students. Really a credit goes to our community and our students. We raised over $11,000. That money is very helpful to our students in relation to our field trips and learning activities that are planned. So again, can't say enough about our community and their generosity with that. Field day was also today. That was very successful. Students, parents, and staff, administration, we all sort of collaborated together, taking kids through a series of meaningful events. A great example of this was the tug of war station. And if you really want to see the competition come out in our students, divide the teams into classes versus class. or better yet, make it girls versus boys. Okay? Let's just say the emotions go full throttle in this environment. This really does take the competition to a new level, which is great to see in our students. So that was really fun for everyone today that participated. We just had our kindergarten orientation. Again, felt very successful with that. Had over 70 students, some new enrollees coming in. Their families participating. And about 15 of those were what I would call first time interacting with us. They hadn't did anything with enrollment yet, but that was their first night coming to the school to interact. So again, another reason we do those things, it gives us a chance to have that outreach. And obviously our kindergarten team were sort of reflecting on how that first meeting went and looking at ways how we can continue to improve as we head to June, July, and August as we continue to interact with that part. And finally, I just want to give a shout out to Mr. McMaster and Miss Lee, our two school counselors. I can't really say enough about what they do to contribute to our team over there. Some of the areas their job entails, they're continuously sharing out resources, links, materials for the core value each month that they showcase. They're a key contributor to our school's pilot program. They help to facilitate things such as homebound instruction for students. They're getting that going through Dr. Fialski's office. They're teaching instructional lessons to students that really emphasize our primary grades. They collaborate with staff and students, whether again through IEPs, gifted students, 504 students, and or behavior support. So again, their role is pretty intensive. Their daily role with communication with everybody, students, families, staff, administration, outside agencies, that's an ongoing piece. And then, you know, Ms. Lee does a phenomenal job each day in our morning announcements. She starts each day at ACES. She sends a positive message to our school. And really, we couldn't be what we are, what we do without the work and dedication that they do. So again, just want to say a shout out to Ms. Lee and Mr. McMaster for their work and effort. That concludes my report.
To use your vernacular, I'd like you to shout out for me to Jordan Beard with her chickens. My wife knows nothing about chickens, and she was scared to death. And all I heard about for the last 25 days was about these chickens, and she actually dragged me in here in the middle of the evening one night to check on them. She was that scared. And Jordan's a TA. Jordan does not get paid a huge salary. And I know for the one young man that he was overly ecstatic. And today I heard was a sad day because they went off to the farm.
Yeah.
So, but for the TA to take that much initiative in learning and acquiring through donations, the eggs, the incubators, the heat lamps, even the food, all the odds is fantastic. And I hope we realize that our TAs, which are not paid that well, as I say, went above and beyond. And if we can get more people like that, it would be fantastic. She doesn't do it for the money, and do it for the love of the town. So I appreciate that. So pass that on.
Are the seniors still doing the parade through the schools?
Yeah, we do have that coming up. We're just, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's going to be
Is it
Wednesday next
graduation day
week.
or practice
So-
day?
So, yeah.
Practice day.
So they'll come down and we'll do that parade just like we've always done, so.
I know some of them go to the middle school too sometimes.
So that's exciting, yeah.
Any other questions, comments for Mr. Moran?
Can't count chickens.
No, you can't. Well, you can't top that young man. I'm sorry. That young man. I understand. I don't know his name, but.
Yeah, I just want to say one more quick thing, because I didn't know that until tonight, so it's a little bit of my emotions coming too. So I didn't realize George Shue had passed away. So most of you don't know this, but I was the guy who replaced George. So when George left, I was the teacher that they hired in the district. And George was very good to me. So again, I just want to, acknowledge that too, because again, he meant a lot to this community and to the school district over many, many years. And for me personally, he was a big part of my transitioning to the district. Even though he was leaving, he was very supportive of me and just, those pieces. So just again, thoughts and prayers with this.
Just thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. Is Ms. Becker?
She's just running behind. She said she can present at the end if that's all right with the board.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Shelley, that means you get bumped up a notch.
Okay, so it's 9
I will.
It's top of the 7. So,
Good guys, bad guys.
us.
Yes.
So it's 9-9 when it came over here. I was like, oh my god, oh my god. Then we just scored. I'm like, oh my god, it's 10-9. So if we get them out at the top of the 7th, we win. So then we play Susquehanna on Thursday. So, but baseball was winning, but now we're losing 7-5. So.
That's not a good story.
But there's still time. Yeah, there's still time. Okay, so as you can see, I get very excited for the sports teams, and we're obviously in postseason right now. Baseball is playing Berks Catholic right now. Like I said, 7-5. Softball, you know the score there. I'm going to stay track and field for a little bit. Boys tennis is over, but they represented well at the YAI championship. We had 5 single players and 3 double teams. So they did really well. They all played close matches, and none of them advanced. So track and field, these are my highlights. I didn't have Carrie if you had. Okay, so I spent pretty much half a day Friday and all day Saturday at Shippensburg University with track and field to support all of our athletes who qualify for districts, which, by the way, is a lot harder than what people know and think. Getting to districts is a big deal. And we had Parker Dell, he finished 8th in the disc. So I think there's a single picture of Parker. That's Parker, he finished 8th in the disc. Brody Clayball was 4th in the long jump. If you can see, they're all biting their medals right there. Benet Parker was 2nd in the long jump, broke her PR. I think she broke the school record again, too, in the long jump. And she's a state qualifier. So to make it to states is huge. So you have to be top 2, or you hit the qualifying mark, which is next, it's pretty up there, the qualifying marks. But you have to hit the mark that day. You can't just hit it earlier in the season. You have to hit the mark during the state track meet, or during the district track meet. So Xander Spillin, though, he was 3rd in a triple jump, and just hold that picture too. 3rd in a triple jump, and he won the long jump. He is our District 3 champion. So I can't tell you the proudness I felt for all of them, and the camaraderie between those teammates, and just Benet hugging them. It was just such a nice, it was so great to witness. And that last picture, so at the end, the camera guy comes up and just takes one picture of the guy who wins all by himself. But I'll tell you what, that's the cheesiest smile I've ever seen. But you know what though, if you ever ask me my why, there you go. I mean, that kid did not stop smiling to this day. Like I saw him at track this morning, and I was just like, you're still smiling, aren't you? Yeah. So I get so excited for these kids and how well they do, and they'll be going to states this Friday. Xander jumped at 9, Benet jumped at 12:30. So that's what happened this past weekend. So another highlight, we are actually starting a summer track program. It's going to be Mondays and Thursdays, and it's going to be at the track from 5 to 6:30. The head coach is starting it. I'll make some appearances here and there to teach jumps and hurdles. But we realize we really don't have a feeder program for track. And there's so many events that these kids don't know about. There's pole vault, there's high jump, there's disc, there's shot. So it's our way to kind of introducing from 6th grade to rising seniors. If you want to get more extra work in, this is your chance. So I'm really excited about that, and it's free. So that makes it even better.
Ms. Young, speaking of middle school, did we not have a middle school invitational not too long ago?
Oh yeah, we did.
It went fairly well, didn't it? I mean,
they did really well. I don't know. Well, you want to go ahead and tell you about your daughter?
No.
Yes, that was a long night, but I actually drove the junior high track team that night, which I actually enjoyed because it's a chance for me to kind of get to know the younger kids. And me driving like 6 boys and 3 girls in the car, it was just like, the boys just wanted to be like, Miss Young, can you just drop us off somewhere? Please just drop us off. And the girls were like, burr, 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 burr. So, yeah, they did a very good job there. It was very high competition, very, very tough competition there. I think, what did Cole do in the high jump?
we had left by that time.
Cole, I think, was first.
He
was
did very
first
well.
in the high jump, I want to say.
We saw his
Cole did
father
really,
on
really
the way
well.
out, and we were unsure.
So yes, and his daughter, she ran the mile.
The mile.
She ran the mile,
Yeah.
and she got a PR, didn't she?
She did, yeah.
Yeah, she got a PR.
And she placed 3rd. Yeah.
Yeah, she did. That was tough. That was a tough competition that she
That
had.
was, yeah.
Okay, so looking ahead. So I was informed, G4 Force is no longer going to renew their contract with us down the school year. So to be proactive, I already met with Eric and John, kind of put our heads together and thinking about security for football games, and I only use them for certain games throughout the year, like rivalries and stuff like that. But I already had 2 people reach out that want to be event workers as well, so we're trying to recruit more faculty/security. But we're gonna keep working on it to make sure we have what we're gonna do, a game plan before football starts. Athletic awards is Wednesday. I always look forward to that. May 22nd or May 21st. Graduation, evaluations of coaches, and hopefully some vacation somewhere in the summer. So that is my update. Oh my God, it's 10:10. So it's 10:10. That means we're going into overtime right now. So any questions?
No, I think that's all, other than the fact that you are now requested by at least some of us to make sure you email it.
Oh, I will. So it's going into overtime. So it's going to the 8th inning.
Tell Mike to sit on when you go up.
Okay, all right.
Thanks,
See ya.
bye. And Ms. Becker's still not here, so we'll go on to the next one. We now recognize members of the public who have signed up to provide comment as stipulated in policy 903. When your name is called, please approach the podium, state your name, confirm you're a resident or taxpayer in the district, and topic of discussion for the record. Please direct your comments to the board as a whole, not an individual. We ask that you limit your comment to 5 minutes or less. The privilege to speak may be interrupted, revoked, or recess of the meeting may be called by the chair if the speaker does not observe reasonable decorum and or orderly conduct. Thank you. Ms. Johnson.
My name is Suzanne Johnson, and as a district parent and taxpayer, I've repeatedly shared my concerns about the district's budgeting practices and student proficiency scores. With elections, we hear all kinds of promises from the candidates and even false accusations that rely solely on word of mouth. I, on the other hand, back up what I say with facts that I've gathered from regularly attending school board meetings for years and documentation that I prove showing the research that I've done from the district, state, and other official websites. While it may be an inconvenient truth for some of you, the fact is that you approved millions in new spending on athletic fields and additional facility improvements. Check the minutes. Facing elections, you are now saying no tax increase, but that is untenable until you change your spending priorities. It's not fiscally responsible to pass a budget with an estimated $2.5 million deficit and simply hope for another surplus. Given the current economic environment and cuts in public funding, you can't rely on the windfalls from state or federal government funding or better than expected interest rates or investment returns that have led to previous budget surpluses. Another inconvenient truth is that the current board promoted Dr. Mitzel despite years of declining student proficiency, leading to the lowest PSSA scores in the county. Check the state website where they are published every fall. To quote Dr. Steve Dykstra, a renowned expert in literacy and child development, the school that's on the slow road to better instruction is sacrificing another year of children. In the Gettysburg Connection, candidates Ressler, Yerger, and Ewan argue that progress takes time. But how many more years after a decade will you continue to allow our students to fall behind? I must reiterate, I am a mother. I stand here, meeting after meeting, advocating for what I believe is best for my child and her fellow classmates in this district. Appallingly, speaking on issues before the school board has led to me and my child being targeted, harassed, and threatened as an attempt to suppress the inconvenient truths that I share. I'm not a public official, but you've permitted defamatory statements against me during public meetings where only grievances against school officials should be permitted. Dr. Mitzel, Dr. Bell, Janelle Ressler, Jeannie Ewing, Carl Thompson, and Nick Lavelle have attempted to intimidate me, falsely accused me of spreading misinformation, or made other defamatory statements against me at school board meetings, in the newspaper, or on social media.